interview time with Cara Santa Maria. So excited to have you here. You recently interviewed me on Take Part Live.
I did.
And you're just so good at what you do. I've been a fan of yours for quite some time. And for those of you who aren't familiar with Cara, you used to teach psychology and biology to high school students and undergrads. How did you then take the leap to becoming a host?
Oh yeah, it's a big leap. So I was studying neuroscience, actually. I did a master's in neuroscience, started a PhD.
She's so smart and sexy.
Stop. I'm a PhD dropout, but during that time when I was working towards those degrees, I love to teach, and I didn't really like doing the work in the lab like you're supposed to like doing. And I kind of realized that science communication, science in public, on TV, in podcasting, on the web, is not that different from teaching in a classroom. So it seems like a big transition, but it's not that different.
And your podcast, which is a weekly science podcast, Talk Nerdy, really fun. So that must have been an easy thing for you to get started. And I mean, it's everything that you love.
I absolutely love it. It's probably my favorite outlet because I get to produce it myself. There's no network executives. There's nobody telling me how I'm supposed to kind of play it. And I wasn't going to do it at first. I wasn't sure if I should, but I went on Joe Rogan's podcast a bunch, and his fans really pushed me over the edge. When you go on his podcast and then you literally get thousands of tweets after saying, yes, do the podcast, do it, we'll subscribe, how can you not try? I had Joe on as my first guest, and it kind of blew up from there, and it's been a ton of fun.
I love that because it's organic.
Yeah,
it just happened naturally.
Totally.
And then my husband and I watch techno. We love techno on Al Jazeera America. And then all of a sudden you're on that. Because we've been watching it. One of my friends produces it. We've been watching it for, I don't know, about a year now.
I'm in the pilot of that series.
Oh.
Yeah. So I was there.
Shaking his head.
I knew that.
I was there at the very beginning, and then I left to do Take Part Live. So I was gone for like 9 months on season 1 of Take Part Live, but now I'm back and I'm contributing on a regular basis.
All the different shows that you've worked on, the people that you've interviewed, do you have a standout person that you've met? Whether it's a celebrity or just a scientist or somebody that you have met that you absolutely were blown away by?
I mean, I've done a lot of work actually with Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's actually a friend of mine. I've done his show, Star Talk Radio, a couple of times, done a couple live shows with Eugene Merman and Wyatt Cenac and great people. But I think that Neil is probably my favorite only because he's actually been kind of a really good mentor for me, and I mean, he's a badass. We got a badass up in here. I love Neil.
I love that. That's great. And so what's next?
Oh gosh. Well, continuing with techno, I'm actually doing some stuff for KCET, which is kind of a local public television affiliate here in Los Angeles. So I do a show there called SoCal Connected. If you don't live in SoCal, though, you can see it on the web. And the podcast, and we'll see. Right?
And more pictures with you and your dog. I love that. I love that.
Maybe next for me would be to get an Instagram because I don't have
You
one.
don't have an
I'm the
Instagram?
worst. I know. It's ridiculous.
In your defense, it is very complicated to set up an Instagram.
Okay, so everybody, please make sure you check out Talk Nerdy. And thank you, Cara Santa Maria, for joining us. And we will see you all next time on Pop Sugar.